Should be good.
Okay, you're kind of fuzzy on this end, but as long as it's good on your end, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I can hear fine. Hopefully, you're right by the camera, so hopefully that should work right.
Okay, so Hot Wacks.
Right.
I was looking at the second issue, and I had to laugh because it's the record hotline section. Nobody believes this bullshit department. The following info was printed in Rock and Roll News, Cream magazine, which was the huge rock and roll magazine at the time, March 1980. Nobody can keep a secret department. Bruce Springsteen scrapped his plans for a live album after discovering that most of the tapes intended for the LP were lifted from right under his schnoz and bootleg. But that's not all. Bruce was also dismayed / outraged at having his studio tapes stolen, bootlegged, and blatantly sold at his shows. Talk about an inside job. And Kurt comments at that point, talk about a snow job. You're such a, quote, street kid, unquote, Bruce. Have you ever managed to convince people of that and be such an ass at the same time is beyond us? You don't want your tapes getting out? Why the fuck do you broadcast them over FM radio? Jesus! And it's like 6 E's, which was definitely Kurt. When Kurt wanted to let you know that he was disgusted, it was Jesus. Nobody had to steal them. They just taped them off the air. Just to prove the point below are all your live bootlegs we listed in Hot Wacks and Hot Wacks Quarterly, along with the source. And then there's like 15 of them. And then he goes, obviously none of the above are stolen tapes. Even if they were, it would be a stupid argument not to put out a live album just because a few fans had in their possession a bootleg. A Bruce Live would still sell well over 1 million copies. Does this mean there won't be a studio album by Bruce either? Ha ha ha. Say goodnight, Bruce. It was very weird because I don't think people even understood what it was that Kurt was talking about. He was a collector of all kinds of records, picture discs, colored vinyl, foreign imports, and all of the other records, but with particular fondness for bootlegs. And he did a discography. The earliest bootleg, evidently, was a 1969 Bob Dylan concert. So it was really more like the Overstreet price guide without prices. It was just, here's all the bootlegs that exist. Because if somebody said to him, you didn't have this one on the list, it's like, well, I didn't know about that one. What one is that? But because it was bootleg records, then the belief definitely circulated that what he was doing was selling bootleg records. And it's like, I think he was. Like he would buy bootleg records and document them and sell them to record stores or have them on consignment at record stores. He definitely had a bunch of them at Now and Then Books downstairs where I was working, which is where I got to know about all of this. But then it was, he wasn't putting out the discography often enough to include all of the new bootlegs coming out. So then he started putting out Hot Wacks Quarterly, which was the magazine. And the magazine seemed to have gotten to a lot more people than the discography ever did. And they went, my God, this is a $150 million empire built on illegal recording. And I said, sure. As far as I remember, I didn't get paid for it, but I traded him for Rolling Stones concert video, of which he had, I think, 200, 300 hours, 400 hours of Rolling Stones concert footage. So I remember getting Network, which I think was 1970, which was an illegal recording of the concert. It's the whole concert, but most of the time it's just from one fixed position, wherever the guy's shooting it from. And the picture quality was like really dark. But then he also traded me at some point a Rolling Stones 1981 simulcast that had been done. I think one of the last stops on the 81 tour in Virginia with George Thorogood as the warm-up act. And the quality on that was great because obviously it was authorized and broadcast with backstage footage of the guys horsing around with each other and stuff like that. But by the time I had those two, I was really starting to wonder about this whole videotape thing. It's like, wow, I own Citizen Kane. I can't believe this. I have Citizen Kane on videotape. And I found out that I wanted to watch Citizen Kane about as often as it came on television. Same thing with the Rolling Stones. It's like I love the Rolling Stones, but if let's say that I had Kurt's collection, I had 300 hours. What are you going to do? Spend every waking minute of your life watching Rolling Stones concert footage?
Right.
So here I am taking a breath to. I figured we wanted to cover as much of this as possible before we got to any questions that you might have about it. You said that Jeff Tundes sent you Hot Wax material.
Years ago, I think from the Yahoo group, there was a post. It was all 8 covers with your work and what work was in each issue, with scans of like the letters to the editor, artwork, the hard-boiled dick stuff, which I discovered is actually on Amok. Back when Tim was in charge, there was a post with Chad, all 4 pages or 8 pages, whatever it was.
There you go. That's another one of those. When you have way too much Dave Sim stuff in one place, you're probably not going to know all of the stuff that you got.
Well, and that's I'll go and there's a behind the scenes thing that nobody can see but me or Tim or anybody that's a contributor, and there's a list of all the posts, and you can type. There's a search box, and I typed in Hot Wacks, and up pops Hard Boiled Dick. I'm like, oh, okay, we do have it. We just don't have a link on the main page to whatever post that was.
Right. It is odd for me now to have Dave Sim artwork be a draw for Hot Wax. This is why you would want to. This is why you would want to own these, and this is credited on the eBay auction or whatever it is.
Right.